Thank you for joining us for Headlines, your English session program on Radio Television of Burkina Faso. The security forces of Burkina Faso dismantled a presumed terrorist group nearby Mali border. 18 of them were arrested at about 7 kilometers far from Gibo during the Operation Aruna Digo. The one who conducted several attacks at the same area was killed. He is part of the Ansarul Islam group who claimed several attacks at the north of Burkina Faso. Malam Diko, the head of the group, is untraceable. On this terrorist attack, the security minister, Simo Kompore, made journalists to give some details. He says about 20 attacks were recorded with about 70 dead. Several presumed terrorists were arrested, and among them, 2 former refugees from Mentao's refugees camp at Gibo. But according to Simo Kompore, the security minister, the situation is under control. More details with Umar Zombre.
Simon Compaoré, the Minister of Security, and his staff are releasing the latest news about the investigations on the different terrorist attacks perpetrated against Burkina Faso from 2015 to 2016. From the attack on Cappuccino Coffee Shop and Splendid Hotel in 2015 to the attack perpetrated at Samorogan and the attempt of recruiting jihadists at Ouagadougou, without forgetting the abduction of a Romanian at Tambao. All those cases' results were unveiled during this press conference.
Et le Burkina a connu de 2015 à 2016.
From 2015 to 2016, more than 20 terrorist attacks or aggressions similar to terrorism were perpetrated against armed forces, civilians in Burkina Faso. More than 70 people were killed during those attacks. The starting point of this serial and mass killing occurred on April the 4th, 2015, with the attack on a gendarmerie patrol and the kidnapping of a Romanian at Tambao. Currently, more than 70 suspects involved in the terrorist attacks and threats against Burkina Faso have been arrested. The justice has started its job to prosecute them.
Impliqués dans les attaques terroristes et la menace djihadiste ont été,
said Simon Compaoré, Minister of Security. Among the arrested suspects, 2 former refugees of Mentao refugee camp are strongly involved in the terrorist attack on Cappuccino and Splendid Hotel. Since then, many actions have been undertaken to tackle and eliminate the threats and aggressors. Results of those operations in the Sahel region are noticeable. For example, one of the banks that has suspended its activities in this region reopened yesterday, according to the Minister of Security. This press conference was really awaited by journalists. All views and preoccupations of the Fourth Estate were focused on the ongoing military operation at the northern part of the country, exactly at the province of Soum. For the first responsible of the security, it is not time yet to talk about that. Operations are still going on and the forces are crisscrossing the province looking for suspects.
Je vais être bref sur la question parce que
I will be very short about it, because when you plan a strategy, it is obvious that you don't talk about that. We invite you to come and pay a look on what we're doing on the ground, said the Minister of Security.
Soyez sur le terrain pour observer.
The defense minister paid a visit to soldiers wounded during the current terrorist attack at the north of Burkina Faso. At the hospital Yalgadougou, Drago, and the Tengandougou hospital, Jean-Claude Bouda and his team went to make sure they are getting recovered. It was a duty for us to come to see how the situation is. But after the visit, we can say that both the military and the gendarme are receiving appropriate care. He says the defense minister also invite all the population of Burkina Faso to remain solidaristic with the national armed forces in order to win the battle against terrorism. President of Faso has just returned home after a trip in Germany last week. Rochma Christian Kabore took part in the African-Germany Economic Forum. During the visit, he got an interview with Angela Merkel to deal with the cooperation between Burkina Faso and Deutschland. Security, professional training, and some other development sectors are part of cooperation fields. One of the key points of the trip is the German and Burkina Businessmen Forum that gave the opportunity to the delegation of Burkina Faso to show the investment opportunities of Burkina Faso. a delegation of donors and the International Monetary Fund, but a workshop with Prime Minister Paul Kabateba this week in Ouagadougou. Those partners renewed their support to Burkina Faso for the implementation of the PNDS, the National Plan for Social and Economic Development. More details with Umar Zomri.
The Troika of the technical and financial partners reiterates its engagement and support to the National Plan of Economic and Social Development of Burkina Faso. And this visit, paid to Paul Kabatieba, aims to clear the ways for the operationalization of the Permanent Secretariat in charge of the implementation of the PNDS, in charge of implementing the PNDS.
The Troika, the development partners of Burkina Faso, we are organized as one to support the government in delivering on the PNDS. The PNDS being the National Development Plan. So we discussed today in a concrete fashion how we as development partners will be supporting the Secretariat Permanent, which is the umbrella coordination unit that will help to support the technical ministries, as well as to make sure that monitoring evaluation of the PNDS takes place in the right way.
Operationalization of this permanent secretariat requires technical and financial means that the Troika is willing to provide.
The secretariat needs financial resources as well as technical resources. So each development partner in its capacity, some of them with funding, others with technical assistance, we will be supporting the Secretariat Permanent to make things happen on the ground.
Before the visit of the Troika, Prime Minister Paul Kabatieba received a delegation of the Technical Assistance Mission of IMF, the International Monetary Fund. This mission purpose is to make the assessment of Burkina Faso public debts and also share its expertise in managing the financial resources that will be mobilized for the execution of the PNDS.
After 6 years of implementation of projects, the United Nations Development Program and the government of Burkina Faso met this week to assess the UNDP intervention in Burkina Faso. About 20 projects were carried out, mostly in the domains of governance, environment preservation, and poverty control. For more details, I invite you to listen to the UNDP country director in Burkina Faso.
The meeting we are holding today is aiming at reviewing our cooperation framework with the government of Burkina Faso to assess how we have worked during the last 6 years, to see what have worked, what hasn't worked, what have worked less, and to draw the lessons to inform the new cooperation framework we are preparing to support the implementation of the National Plan for Economic and Social Development called PNDS. So it's not an ordinary review, it's a specific review that will help us to inform our new cooperation framework. So we expect the participants to be really free to speak, to talk, to assess really what has worked, and that will allow us to have a more efficient program for the coming 3 years.
The Deputy Economy and Planning Director General, who was representing the Minister of Economy, Finance and Development, says the government of Burkina Faso is grateful to the UNDP for its contribution in the development of Burkina Faso.
I would like first to thank the program for what the program has done in our country. This program has done many things through the project and programs in Burkina Faso. And the review we have this morning is to assess the results of this program in our country, and to see where there is things we can improve. We can improve in this country, and we would like to thank them for all they have done in our country.
The festival, called English Français Festival Ouaga, is a socio-educative and cultural platform. The second edition of this festival is taking place from April the 27th to May the 1st. A press conference was organized on Friday to give more details on this event. I invite you to listen to Ouseni Savadogo. He is the initiator of this festival.
English Français Festival Ouaga, second edition, we are hosting it in the side of CIO Ouagadougou because we are planning to promote integration and leadership through educational and cultural programs inside Burkina Faso, gathering communities living in Burkina Faso and also Burkinabe people to celebrate African culture, Burkinabe, and so and so. From the first one to the second edition, you could see that we are bringing many major innovations like Africa Night, which is a platform to allow communities to meet and mix, interchange, and also share ideas and experiences with the Burkinabe people. That's the way for us to, promote peace, not only in Burkina Faso, but also for Africa and for the world. In terms of competitions, you could see that we have a dictation competition which is open to all. May you be a Francophone or Anglophone, you can come and compete at the American Language Center, which is one of our major partners supporting the program. So this is dictation competition and also oratory debate and reading competition for English for Francophone people and French for English communities. If you are a Ghanaian, a Nigerian, a Kenyan, you are competing in French. And if you are a Burkinabe from Mali or Senegal or Togo or Benin, you are competing in French. This is linguistic integration.
So you have talked about Africa Night.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
In fact, Africa Night is a platform to allow communities living in Burkina Faso and also Burkinabe people meet on the same ground and celebrate African culture. That's the way we could also celebrate our values, not only Burkina Faso, but all of the Africans. Somebody was saying that when you are speaking the same language, you are already brothers. So if we meet Nigerians, Ghanaians, Burkinabe, and Ivorian people on the same ground, we are going to share ideas and also to share brotherhood. That's the way we could also prevent, conflicts.
Thank you for watching. Stay connected to Radio Television of Burkina Faso from Ouagadougou to enjoy your weekend. Take care and next time.